It was a great season on the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. 12 events, from Vancouver to Halifax, and everywhere in between. 9 different champions hoisted the hardware. 3 of them took home the top prize twice, producing one of the tightest Player of the Year races in years. But when they weren't competing inside the ropes, players took a minute to have a good time and make a difference in every community along the way. We take a look back at one unforgettable year on the Mackenzie Tour next. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. The 2019 season of the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada kicked off in Vancouver, British Columbia with the newly branded Canada Life Open. Beginning the final round 5 strokes back of the lead, California's Jake Knapp fired a 4-under front 9 before birdieing 4 of his final 5 holes for an 8-under par 64 and his first career title. More importantly, it signified that his comeback from an injury-plagued 2018 was complete.
The main goal this year coming into the season was just to be able to play 12 months in a row of good, healthy golf. You know, if you would have told me in November, December, or even January that I was going to be in this position, I probably wouldn't have believed you because I was, on crutches. Being able to win that first week, just gives you a lot of confidence. So you just want to stick to that game plan and keep doing it as many times as you can.
The Mackenzie Tour sailed across the bay to Victoria and Uplands Golf Club for the Bayview Place DC Bank Open presented by Times Colonist. Paul Bergeron had last tasted victory on the Mackenzie Tour back in 2016 and found that magic again in Victoria, where he posted 4 sub-70 rounds, including a final round 65 that gave him his second career victory by 1 stroke and kick-started a run that would have him in the Player of the Year conversation all year long.
I would say that anybody who wins here has a chance to compete with these guys. You win here, you obviously have a chance to win anywhere. That gave me the opportunity to get there with a little more confidence.
Jake Knapp's hot streak continued in Kelowna during the 3rd and final event of the BC Golf Swing, where he staged another final round comeback, this time at Gallagher's Canyon, where he shot a bogey-free 63 to take the Golf BC Championship by a stroke.
Playing up here for a few years, I feel like I knew exactly what I needed to work on in order to play well up here. And I really worked on my game off the tee and then around the greens just to clean that stuff up, but mainly just driving and putting, trying to get more consistent there.
Winning 2 of his first 3 starts, vaulted Knapp to the top of the Order of Merit, where he would stay for 6 weeks throughout the season. He finished with 8 top 10s, including the 2 victories and a tie for second in Windsor, ultimately securing the 3rd position on the final Order of Merit and Corn Ferry Tour status.
I think obviously it's a goal at the start of the year. You want to move on to the Corn Ferry Tour.
He's a guy that just never goes away. I wouldn't be surprised to see him, make it to the next level, obviously, and then, compete at the top of that level as well.
Play with Jake for the first time actually in Halifax this year. Pounds it. We had fun going back and forth with the driver, so that was a good time.
He hits the ball a mile, but very good short game as well. He's got the skills to, be able to hit a 2-iron off the tee and be not too far behind us with the driver.
I've known Jake since junior golf, and obviously we all know that we've been teammates, and he's been a brother to me. Great dude, great golfer, even better person.
A guy that won 2 of the first 3 events. So early in this year, I thought, man, this guy wants to win this tour.
Means a lot. Last few years have been pretty rough, in terms of dealing with some injuries and just not playing as well as I think I should. It was nice to be able to put some work in, win Q School, and then to come out here and play as well as I have. It means a lot to me.
Coming up after the break. It wasn't all work on the Mackenzie Tour, as players found plenty of time for fun.
2 of these guys going head-to-head.
And then, the 2nd quarter of the season brings 2 new names and 1 familiar face to the winner's circle. And later, we spent a season getting to know some really great guys on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. No one can argue that one of the perks of being on the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada is experiencing all of Canada's natural beauty. But outside of the scenic greens and rolling fairways, players certainly took advantage of those stops to make some memories of their own.
Ready?
From the air,
beautiful views, and we got to see some golf courses and trees and just the whole city of Victoria.
and the sea,
Welcome aboard. We're going to go for a sail around Halifax.
and everything in between. The players took in the sights of Canada from coast to coast. And they tried their hand at a few new skills.
Okay.
Now you guys have to dance.
I'm not dancing.
I would say I was the best today out of everyone.
Nice. Oh, we got one man down.
They certainly enjoyed a taste of Canada.
People who know me, they know how much I love mustard, so this is fantastic.
And remembered to stay hydrated.
Cheers.
Look at that guy up there.
Yes, it was another fun-filled season on the Mackenzie Tour.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
The second quarter of the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada featured stops in Alberta and Ontario. First up, the Lethbridge Paradise Canyon Open at Paradise Canyon Golf Resort. After missing his first 3 cuts of the season, Alex Chirella battled throughout the final round before taking the lead with a birdie on 17. He clinched the title by 1 stroke for his first Mackenzie Tour victory.
Incredible feeling, walking down 18, just overwhelmed with emotion, really. I hadn't been playing well at all, haven't made a cut, and then to just everything to just work out like this, yeah, incredible feeling.
The tour then headed east to Ambassador Golf Club for the Windsor Championship, where another fresh face stepped into the winner's circle. Dawson Armstrong posted a bogey-free 66 in the final round to hoist the trophy.
It was really special because it feels good to be back in that situation where, you know, you've got the nerves running a little bit. You gotta calm down a little bit. You know where you're at and you just gotta perform. That was the best feeling.
The 23-year-old added 2 more top 10s to his resume and finished 8th in the order of merit. The next week in Caledon, Paul Bergeron grabbed his 2nd title of the year. He went on a 5-under run down the stretch at TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley to win the Osprey Valley Open presented by Votorantim Cementos CBM Aggregates by 3 strokes. All season long, we've gotten to know the players on the Mackenzie Tour. We've heard their stories of what brought them to the game.
Grew up playing tennis, my sister did as well, and we both transitioned to golf. Golf, to me, seemed more friendly at the time.
Golf was huge in Augusta. You know, our parents used to always drop us off during the summer, and we'd stay out there all day and beat golf balls.
And what it feels like to hoist up the medal on Sunday.
Just pieced a few things together, stayed confident throughout the weekend, and yeah, win felt amazing.
To have gotten that first win, it was a relief, honestly. To finally get the win and to really finish strong really helped out.
But we've also learned some new things along the way, like what music gets them pumped for a round.
I'm from the South, so you know, country music's always been a part of my life.
A pretty big hip-hop guy, and I don't listen to a ton of new artists.
Or what fuels them.
I really love seafood. I think growing up on the coast, my parents just, I think they cook seafood like all the time.
Or who their biggest fans are.
It's nice to do it with your brother and experience everything together, so way more fun.
And just what colors are they wearing on game day?
Well, I went to Kobe's last game as a Laker. Got a little teary-eyed there. You know, it's the last time you're going to see him, and you grew up watching him your entire life.
The Blue Jays, for sure, yeah. Just loving going to the games with my glove, trying to catch home runs or batting practice balls.
It's been a great year of getting to walk a couple holes with the guys, hearing each one's journey as we join them on the bag. In addition to providing the ultimate platform for great competition, the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada, together with its tournament sponsors, makes a difference in communities across the country.
We are so excited and so honored to be a part of this again. They want to try and raise as much fun for the charities as well as put on a great day of golf. So we're really happy to be here.
Whether it's raising funds for children and families,
for us to be able to donate $10,000 to the Hospice of Windsor and Essex County on behalf of Corey and Adam is something truly special, and it's something that this community is going to benefit from for years to come.
Investing in the environment.
I'm really proud to say that thanks to really great partners like TPC Toronto at Osprey, we've already raised $4 million of the $5 million goal.
Or spreading the game of golf, the Mackenzie Tour has generated close to $5 million for charity since 2013.
Okay, good job. That was awesome.
There's still more to come. We take a look back at the final 6 events of the season and the incredible runs of Lawrence Chan, Taylor Pendrith, and Paul Bergeron. When this is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada returns. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. Capturing the number 4 spot on the Order of Merit this season was Lawrence Chan. After racking up a slew of top 10s, including a win at the HFX Pro-Am presented by Steel Jaguar, Chan found a cozy spot among the top 5 on the money list, ultimately earning status for the following season on the Corn Ferry Tour.
The last 2 years I kind of finished around like 45, 55 on the money list, so it's been a nice improvement. Kind of worked hard the last few years, and I've been close. I've always believed that.
Lawrence has been one of my best friends for the last, 6, 7 years. It's nice to have someone like that who can kind of push you to another level as well.
Super impressive game. He's, very straight off the tee, doesn't make many mistakes. He is overall a great player, great ball striker, really good putter.
I would describe it as pretty consistent in all compartments of the game.
He never seems to play bad. He's just always there. You know he's going to go out there and play well, so he's somebody you always have in the back of your mind every week.
It's really nice to kind of have everything clicked, and not only click for 1 week with the win, but kind of just overall the entire summer and the 11 events that we've played so far.
Crazy good under pressure, and when he needs to play well, he does it. Another guy that there's no doubt is going to be at the next level.
As our journey across Canada continued, we headed to Nova Scotia for the HFX Pro-Am presented by Steel Jaguar, where none other than Lawrence Chan hoisted the trophy on Sunday.
Golf is so mental. I mean, you can have good days and still you look at your scorecard and you shot even, and kind of have some weird days and you're shooting under par. So it's kind of just about just keep grinding, keep fighting for every shot, and just keep your head down and then see what happens.
With his mom on the bag, Chan closed out the round with a 67 to take home his only title of the season. The following week in Edmonton, Chan was in the hunt to capture back-to-back trophies. But another familiar name on the Order of Merit took the lead and never looked back.
Every year it gets harder and harder. The top guys, week in and week out, could compete on any tour, and it's only going to get better. So it's been a good year, but challenging year, and there's tons of good players who put pressure on you.
With such a close race to the finish line, the 1932 by Bateman Open was a pivotal win for Taylor Pendrith that ultimately catapulted him into the lead for the Canada Life Canadian Player of the Year award. Over at the ATB Financial Classic, fireworks were going off as a sudden death playoff stood between Hayden Buckley and his first tour win. Buckley nearly missed slamming the door with a birdie, giving Sam Fedone a chance to have the hole. But the lefty couldn't convert, and Buckley was able to hold on to the victory.
I showed up every week, didn't feel much pressure. Just knew if I kind of came and did what I was supposed to, that things were going to work out. And sure enough, Calgary, we got the win.
While we're on the topic of champions, Canada's own Taylor Pendrith had 2 standout performances this season at the 1932 by Bateman Open and later at the Mackenzie Investments Open. And those 2 titles vaulted him to the number 2 spot on the Order of Merit by season's end.
That's awesome. I've had a pretty good year, I'd say. It's been a battle, honestly, the last 2 years. 2015 out here, finished 3rd, and kind of thought maybe I'll never be back on this tour, but embraced it, and this year I've had some really good finishes.
When he's driving it well and putting it well, you know, he's a tough guy to beat.
I think my first opinion of Taylor was I need to go to the gym a little bit and gain a few yards.
He's a great player, hits it very long, and his touch around the green is pretty unbelievable. Impressive player for sure.
I think the control he has with his irons, his wedges, his putting, his short game, it's pretty remarkable for a guy that hits it so far. It's kind of scary when it's on.
Really long and playing really well right now. When you shoot course records back to back, that's pretty impressive. I mean, he's killing it this year.
Canada Life does an awesome job with, you know, supporting the Canadians on tour. Can't thank them enough for what they've done for the Mackenzie Tour and everything they do for golf. Kind of a breakthrough year. Been a long time coming, but it feels really, really good to get the job done.
After the break, a look back at the final 3 events of the 2019 season. And then,
He's just one of those guys that just looks like he's ready to move on to the next level.
we're getting to know our Player of the Year and how he was able to clinch the #1 spot on the Order of Merit. All that and more when this is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada returns. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. With the summer coming to an end and our pros fighting to lock up a spot in the final 10, we headed to Winnipeg, Manitoba and the Players' Cup, where 34-year-old Derek Barron earned his first Mackenzie Tour victory. A Sunday with gusty conditions made birdies hard to come by, but that was no problem for Barron, who only needed a steady, even par final round to take home the trophy.
What a special day and a special feeling, and honestly, it just affirms that I'm doing the right thing in my life, in my career path, and what I do every day.
Players then said bonjour to Montreal, where they teed it up in the Mackenzie Investments Open. No one could catch Canadian Player of the Year Taylor Pendrith, who had a tournament for the record books, shooting back-to-back course record 62s on Friday and Saturday, earning his second victory of the season by 8 strokes.
Went into Sunday with a 5-shot lead, so there wasn't really any pressure on me. It was nice to get the job done and win by 8. Felt great.
The top 55 players then made their way to London, Ontario for the Canada Life Championship, facing off one last time this season. Patrick Fishburn broke through with 64s on Saturday and Sunday to earn his first Mackenzie Tour victory. The win vaulted Fishburn all the way from 11th on the Order of Merit to 5th, earning him Corn Ferry Tour status for the first time in his career.
I think here in the Mackenzie Tour, it's been great for us because we have so many great players, and the competition is so, tough that it really prepares you well for the upcoming stages. It gives you a great foundation with the rest of your career.
Beautiful. Paul Bergeron started this Mackenzie Tour season with his foot on the gas pedal and never let up. With 8 top 10 finishes, 0 missed cuts, and 2 victories at the Bayview Place DC Bank Open and Osprey Valley Open. He earned fully exempt status on the Corn Ferry Tour for the 2020 season as this year's Player of the Year.
I've known Paul for a few years now, and he's a super nice guy. He's just a really solid player.
Everybody getting in Vancouver has the same goal, is to finish in the top 5. And, everybody also wants to be first because we're all competitors, so we want to finish first and beat everybody else.
Another one that's just consistency. I think that's kind of how you need to do if you want to finish on top of the money list.
Played with Paul in Toronto, and he's a great dude. Game is super steady, doesn't make many mistakes.
One of the most solid players I've ever seen in my life. We played a few rounds together, and I joked with him that I've never seen him make a bogey.
It's been a very consistent year, and I stayed very patient. You don't win a tournament on the first, the second, or the third day, but the 4th round, if you got a chance, that's where you can make it happen.
He's just one of those guys that just looks like he's ready to move on to the next level.
Definitely going to be a guy that has a long career on the PGA Tour.
We all tee off in Vancouver for the same goal to come to London and then hopefully lift the Player of the Year trophy. I'm very proud and very happy to be here.
It feels great to finish in the top 5 again. You know, it's been such a long, crazy year, but still a really good year, and can't wait for next year.
Being top 5 was a goal for me at the beginning of the year, so to be able to achieve that goal means a lot.
Feels good. Feels been a long time coming to kind of, I guess, make a pretty big jump to finish 4th on the money list. I'm excited.
To sneak into the number 5 spot is something that it's always fun when you can accomplish some of your goals, and I was happy to do it with a win in the last event.
Mackenzie Tour is the best way to go because it gives you the real full experience on how it is on the Corn Ferry, and also gives you an opportunity to advance.
Mackenzie Tour, it's been great for us because we have so many great players, and competition is so tough that it really prepares you well for the upcoming stages.
I went up there in 2017 and then lost my card after playing about 20 tournaments. So in my opinion, I learned a lot over there.
Golf's a long road, and sometimes guys see it as a very short-term thing, but realistically, hopefully your career can range over 20, 30 years. So you just got to stay patient.
Golf's always a battle, and just happy to be able to have the opportunity to tee it up. It's just a fantastic year.
It's been a great year on the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. Goodbyes are always hard, but as we close out this season, let's remember all the good times we had this summer.
Get in the moment, stop what you're doing. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We explored many cities, both on and off the course. As we traveled across Canada from coast to coast, we saw fierce competition and some great golf, from tee shots to putts and all the fairways in between. It might be over for now, but you can still keep up with all your favorite players on PGATour.com. We can't wait to do it all again in the summer of 2020. See you next year on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.